It's actually nice to see some semblance of normality beginning to seep back into the movie industry with Jurassic World 3 resuming production, along with The Batman. There have been numerous health and safety regulations that the cast of Jurassic World 3 have to adhere to in order to pick up from where they left off back in March, and I question how they will still make the June 11, 2021 release when they've been sidelined for 4 months. Those that understand my point of view, why I'm questioning this. Granted, this is circa 1993 with what I'm about to go look into, but if you look at the extra features of Jurassic Park, where they talk about the making of the movie, it took them 6 months to render each animal in CG. I don't know how much, same amount of time that they have to use in order to render the animals properly in the current series. The animals look more detailed than ever, but I question as to how much quicker it will be, because CG is not easy to do. It's probably easier because they know better now, some near 30 years later, but the point still stands. It's still going to take a while, so I don't know how they're still going to make the June deadline, because you can tell when a movie's rushed. It looks sloppy. So, maybe they know something we don't. I don't know. But the changes are necessary so that they can be aware of how more cautious to be and just focus on the story of dinosaurs roaming the earth once more. As I mentioned back in Ticket 8 of Season 14 of Real Features, that the Batman's release date had been pushed back to October 2021 as this too is being filmed in the UK along with Jurassic Park 6. And from what I've seen from that trailer that was released on DC Fandom, it's going to be a much darker, grittier, a much rawer looking take on the Dark Knight with a Batman that is not yet fully developed. And in between seasons, I managed to end my drought of going to the cinema, and I partook my first visit since Sonic the Hedgehog back in February when I went on the last weekend of July. Now, a lot of theatres are showing classic flicks as a means of filling in the void before new movies come in, which I don't think there's going to be a huge influx anytime soon, aside from Tenet and Unhinged. For its 35th anniversary, and only my second time viewing this at the box office, which the first time was 10 years ago for its 25th anniversary, I went back to 1985 for Back to the Future. It's one of those movies that you already know every single setup. You know the jokes before they come. You know every single butthead from Biff, you know each action piece before it appears, and yet it feels fresh each time. Back to the Future is one of those very few movies of beloved iconic status that can be viewed multiple times and it never loses its appeal. And to be given the opportunity to experience it on the big screen once more was satisfying beyond measure. The visual effects with the lightning bolt did seem to look more refined, as I don't recall it being that detailed. But it could just be the fact that I wasn't used to seeing it on the big screen and in 4K resolution, so that might be why it looks more polished. And I never thought I would get to utter these words. I saw Jurassic Park for only the second time on the big screen. And I saw this as the same day as Back to the Future. That is an experience that doesn't happen too often. And both of those happened through Steven Spielberg. True, he did not direct Back to the Future, but he was involved behind the scenes. With Jurassic Park in 4K, the differences I could see, aside from Universal updating its logo for its modern and not its circa 1993 reveal, there were more ambient sounds of dinosaurs and birds in the first raptor pen scenes and when Muldoon is being hunted, as these sounds were not present in the original theatrical cut. And also the strings that were used to pull the Dilophosaurus thrills open had been painted out, which I will add kinda made that scene less than perfect in 1993, but with this now resolved, it allows you to pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. This too was a thrill getting to see back at the theatre, as I didn't have this opportunity in 2013 for its 20th anniversary, as most cinemas had opted to screen this in IMAX only. Whereas what I'm seeing with the lockdown is that theatres are showing classic flicks, not just of Back to the Future and Jurassic Park, but also to the Dark Knight trilogy and even David Bowie's Labyrinth. Now, should my local cinema show Back to the Future Part 2 and 3, then I will be there in a heartbeat. With this year being the 30th anniversary of Part 3, which you can check out the Season 14 season finale for the retrospective to that movie, and the finale of that series, to be able to see those two movies at the box office would be rewarding. The cinema world I went back to is a very different one. The amount of contact is extremely limited to where your phone or printed off tickets from home are playing a big part in safety. For both my tickets that afternoon in July, they had QR codes with the emails that were attached to that are read via card readers from the ushers in the foyer, along with the booking numbers that come with the codes if you pre-purchase concessions online, and of course you have to wear a mask, though thankfully you didn't have to wear it in the auditorium. At that point it's business as usual and you can just enjoy the movie the way you would normally do. In a time where the world has been shaken and turned inside out, the cinema is once again providing a necessary distraction where you can just relax and switch off for a few hours. We need that escapism more than ever. So, to every single movie theatre, usher, concession stands, we thank you. Thank you for opening back up to not only entertain us once again, but to also give us an escape from the world as we know it and allow us to go to worlds that we know and love so much, helping us to laugh and smile more than ever. Thank you.